Hello, hello, it's Cole, and I'm here for Successful Snippet number 2. This one is all about tips for getting your first party set up in terms of your back office. So using your Norwex back office to get your first party set up. And then in our number 3 episode, Kelly's going to talk about how to set that up virtually if you are doing a Facebook event or another type of event. All right, here we are back at the dashboard. Again, yours might look a little bit different over here on the bottom right if you are a brand new consultant. They tend to set you up in steps so that you can be successful in setting up your first party. As you have them listed, you'll notice that this is how they show up, and you can kind of skim and scan through your open party links. To create a new party, you can either click here on Create a New Party, or again, if you're new, there's a button over here for Create a New Party. When you create a brand new party, you will essentially only do this one time ever. After that, everything will become a booking on another party. I'm going to show you this here just so that we have an example of what this would look like. Let's pretend that I'm doing a Facebook party. The party name is going to show up on the banner when people are shopping that party link. I usually like to include the host name because it also helps to keep me organized. So if I call this host Sally B, and then I write party link or something along those lines. You can really name them whatever you'd like. Some people like it to match whatever they're naming the Facebook group or whatever other organizational system helps you. As far as date and time, it doesn't really specifically matter. However, again, for organizational purposes, I always try to pinpoint either when the demo of the party will be. If it's an in-home event, then of course I want it on that exact day. But if I don't know, and I know that it's going to happen in August, I'm not exactly sure when, I can just pick a day and time. I don't necessarily even need to go back and fix that unless, of course, I want to for my own organizational purposes. If I am hosting as the consultant, I can check this and it will autofill everything. If you have someone else who is hosting your first ever party, that is awesome. Don't forget you can also do a launch party, and you should host your own simultaneously. Your host's first name will go there. The information you need from a host in order to get their link set up is essentially their name, their email, phone number, and their address. And that's because all the host gifts will be shipped to that address. So I'm going to go ahead and fill mine in, and you can click Start Party Now. It's going to confirm an address for you, and you'll simply say yes. Now, I have my direct ship to all guests already as my default, which I shared in snippet number 1. If you don't, I highly recommend you do that, because if you say ship to host or ship to consultant, they are all going to go to your host or the consultant. Although all web orders will go directly to the person who orders them, which is most often the case. Then I'm going to click Next. Now this is the one that tends to give people the most confusion because it says to add a new guest, and we don't yet need to do that. Because even for an in-home party, we can use our online portal to help our guests place orders, and we can do that with them. We don't have to add any new guests, and to be honest, I rarely use this at all. So please skip the Add Guests and Orders. From there, your party link is set up, and you can click Dashboard to take you right back out to the home. Now, I did this as just a practice one, but you can see that now Sally B's party is set up and shows up right here in my open parties. I can add an order from this quick link. I can also click Copy Party Link, and that gives me a direct link to Sally B's party. And if I copy that, I can paste it to my host. She can share it with friends and guests, and I can also use it in her party. For those of you that use Linktree or another link organizer, which we will share more about coming soon, this is where you would then paste that link as well. You can choose to email the host app to your host, and it will tell you whether or not that person is following along. So for example, if somebody has the Norwex mobile app, it's going to put a check in there. If they do not, it will send them an email to the email that you put with their contact information, and it will request that they download the app so they can follow along with what host rewards they've earned. All right, last thing I want to share are the tabs up top when you go to a party link. So we've already talked about the contact information and confirming shipping, but let's talk about some of the others. Now, you might notice that sometimes when you go to click on a tab, if you haven't confirmed the shipping, it might make you start at the beginning of these arrows and next your way through, and then you can click on Review Bookings. So earlier I said that you will not need to do Create a New Party. From now on, everything becomes a booking. When you add a booking, which we'll talk about later, you can be your own host. So, if this is your personal launch party that you've set up, before you close it out, be sure to book yourself your next party link before you close your party out. So I would say Kohl's shopping link, right? Customer shopping link, whatever it might be, pick a new date and save it. And that automatically creates a new one, so I can go ahead and close this out. That keeps me from ever having to use the Create a New Party link button again, and it gives me a booking on my current party, which opens up those other rewards. If I have a party where a new consultant joins, I can add their consultant ID and the host gets $25 shopping spree. When I go to close a party, I'm going to use the Add Host Order button, which we'll talk about more in a later training in how to close a party. Under Pay for Orders, this is where they will check out. Under Review and Submit Party, you can get a full picture of what that party looks like, including total buying guests, total order volume, total bookings, total subtotal, and any host consultant credits. This is helpful because it matches up with our host reward program, which we'll also talk more about later. All right, so again, just to recap, a really important piece of information. Your first ever party will be under Create New Party. All future parties should be a booking off of a previous one, unless you don't have a booking on a host's party, which is okay to close it out. From there, all of your party links will just keep filtering into this open party section.